Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here to do another movie review, this time for Tales from the Hood 2. Now, if you've never seen the original Tales from the Hood, it's a great flick. I highly recommend it. It's one of my favorite anthology films, with pretty much Satan, played by Clarence Williams III, who is hilarious as all hell in that movie. Tells a bunch of stories to black gangsters about racially themed stories, and they're all really creepy and funny at the same time. I highly recommend to check out the film. And this film, for the sequel, was made years later. I was super hyped for this when I heard about it. Then I saw the preview and I was like, it doesn't look that good. Then I see the film now, it ain't that good. This is bad. I do movie reviews on here, and this is one of my, from 1 to 4 stars, this is one of my rare 0-star reviews. I thought this was crap, utter crap. And I was so excited to see this. Keith David plays Mr. Sims, Satan in this. And he tells these stories to this robot from this crooked politician who's trying to teach the robot to be able to identify threats. It's kind of like a parody of Trump or whatever with today's time, of how I guess he wants the robot to be able to go after minorities specifically, you know. So it's a little on the nose. It really is. It doesn't work. The stories in the original were much smarter. So he tells it the stories, and the first story is really terrible. There's this black girl and this white girl, and the white girl, honest to goodness, acts mentally retarded, and they're going into this place, and it's like a museum called, it's the name of the place is like Negrosities or something like that, where it's all this stuff this guy's collected, all these racist trinkets and stuff like that, which is honestly kind of cool in my opinion, that he's collected all this stuff to show all the racisms of the world, America especially, you know. That's pretty cool, actually. Over a place like that really exists. That would be really eye-opening for people, I think, to see something like that. But anyway, so they go in there and check that out, and the black girl is like totally unsympathetic to all the stuff. I guess it's like a comment on the culture of today, how like young black people today, or some of them, not all of them, just don't really care about what happened to their ancestors and all that, you know. And it's the same thing for any person really who's a teenager of today. Most of them don't really care what happened to their ancestors and what they had to go through, regardless of who they are, whether they be white, Jewish, African American, whatever. They just really don't care. That's just the thing about teenagers. They honestly don't care about a lot of shit. And their characters are just absolutely horribly annoying. And the white girl acts like she's friggin' retarded. I mean, like, so stupid. It's unbelievable. And there's this doll that she keeps wanting to steal, this racist doll that reminds her of this black guy she used to screw, and you get the idea of, and then later on, the white girl, the black chick, and the white girl's brother, who is like screwing the black girl, break in there, and they get on this like slavery post where they used to have slaves get on it to get whipped, and really disrespectful these people are. And the black chick gets up there and she's like pretending the dude is like her slave master to whip her ass or whatever. And this oh god. This is probably the worst movie I've seen in a while. This is really horrible. You hate these people. I hated these people. Of course, the big doll comes to life. One of the dolls that's in the case with it is the doll from the original film, which is kind of neat. And the big doll comes to life, murders them all, whips the dude until it's like his guts pour out, which is kind of neat. The black girl just like gets crushed by this racist sign. And then the white girl goes up to the doll, instead of trying to run away, she like screws it out of nowhere. And the next day or whatever, she's pregnant, and she dies giving birth to many dolls who just like pop out of her stomach in a low-grade special effect. Oh, this is not on the level of the original film. It's not at all. This is a straight-up B-movie flick. Keith David as Mr. Sims is honestly the best performance in the movie. His acting is like so over the top, though, that it's so bad it's good. He's like terribly over the top. He's nowhere near on the level of Clarence Williams in the first. He is bad, and he forces laughs like every 10 minutes, but he's so bad, he's good. I liked him. The next story is really it's about this pimp who turned over a new leaf to trying to help the community and everything. There's these black thugs who want to beat the shit out of him and take his money. And, you know, they're part of the groups that bring down African-American society. African-American, who give like a bad image for African-Americans, I mean. Because they don't care about anything about helping their fellow African-Americans out or anything like that. They just don't give a shit about nothing. They just want the money. They don't care. They're just out for themselves. They don't care about anybody, whether they be white or black. Of course, they kill the dude, and then his ghost comes back possessing a medium, and you get these over-the-top, ridiculous death scenes he does to him. Like one dude, he makes his head twist around in bad CGI. Another dude, he electrocutes. It's just terrible effects. It ends like with the dude now as a real psychic because he's possessed by this spirit of this dead guy. It's just really bad. The next story is really short. It's this story where these two guys, this white guy and this black dude, go to get these girls, and they drug them, and they're gonna have sex with them. Of course, the girls turn out to be vampires. They bite on the dudes, and then they leave them in this place where all these other sexual predators are at as well. And all the other guys are vampires now, and they let them eat them. And it's just over in like a snap of a finger, like 2 seconds. This felt really short. It also didn't fit the other tones. It's not a racially driven story. It's more like one of them forced, it's like a Me Too movement story. It just felt really out of place with other stories. And next we get a story that had potential. They call it The Sacrifice or whatever. It's about this dude who, of course, is black because most of the characters here are black, because this is a African-American themed horror film. And I don't understand why this didn't take place in the hood like the original film. That seemed like a big mistake. But yeah. So this dude is like running for this Republican guy he's going with this Republican guy. He wants him to win, but the dude, of course, is actually racist, and he only wants the guy to win so he can get into office. Pretty much, you get the idea. So he's being selfish and hurting his other African-American, brothers and sisters when he could be helping them. And this ghost of this dead boy from years ago who sacrificed his life to help, the community, is coming back, and he wants to take his sacrifice back because he sees that's pretty much useless because it has not inspired, other black folk of today to fight for their race. And of course, he wants this guy to sacrifice himself. So that, and he's in a mixed race relationship with a white woman, and he wants this guy to sacrifice himself so that his kid and all the other future children can be better and have better lives. But it doesn't really work because it's like, why does dude have to actually like die to do this? Why doesn't he just have to? Why can't he just turn over a new leaf and just run against this guy or bring him down by exposing him or whatever? I mean, it doesn't really work to come through. It doesn't work. Most of the acting in this film is bad. Here, though, this was probably the best acted segment. This could have worked with better writing. It could have worked. And another thing about the film is it's too on the left of the political motivations. I am not a Democrat, and I am not a Republican. I am neither. I think both systems are extremely flawed, so I'll side with neither one. But here, this movie tries to wave its hand more to the left, to the liberals, and it puts down Republicans a lot. Like, I don't have a problem with political messages in it, but the way this movie plays it is like all Republicans are pretty much racist scumbags. It just, it's too heavy-handed. It doesn't work. A more intelligent writer would show that there's good Republicans as well as bad ones. Same thing with liberals. A more intelligent writer would be able to do that. It doesn't work here. Like, it worked really well. Like, the racism stuff worked really well in Get Out. Here, it's just really badly handled. And then we get to the last ending segment where the robot has been programmed to spot threats, and it calls out all these minorities or whatever. And it's, it's kind of a knock against Trump. It's a little heavy-handed. It doesn't totally work. But it's an interesting idea, and the robot is terrible CGI, really bad. And it looks over at the dude who's running for office or whatever and sees him as a threat now against America because he's promoting his racist ways. And which is true, he is a threat. But you see the twist coming right off the bat. And it chases him, guns him down. He doesn't know he's dead yet, and he gets into a car with Mr. Sims, Keith David, who's like, "Welcome to hell, mother effer," and starts laughing in the dude's face, really over the top, but funny at the same time. It's so bad it's good. And then they go to hell, and there's these really badly terrible special effects, and the same exact ending as the first one, except much worse effects. And Keith David has these really stupid, cheesy demon horns coming out of his head. It's really terrible. All in all, just a complete waste of time and a waste of film. I don't understand why this was so bad. Like, Spike Lee produced this flick, and I also believe he produced the first. And he put up money for this. I don't understand why this was so badly written and done. Doing a sequel to Tales from the Hood is a great idea. If you can't get Clarence Williams, Keith David should have been a good replacement. I don't understand why this turned out as bad as it did. It should have just took place in the hood, keep it simple, and have the Satan tell the stories to just a new group of hood kids or something, or a new group of kids that he meets up with in some way, shape, or form in the actual hood. This was just so bad, so bad. All in all, this is a complete waste of time. It's on Netflix. It's not worth a watch. But if you're a fan of the original, you'll give it a shot anyway. I did. It's terrible. I regret it. But I'll see you guys again with the next review.